Thanks for clicking on to Vogan's European Outlook for Tuesday, the 4th of July. Happy birthday to my dad, who happens to turn 68 today. So if you're watching, happy birthday. And we do have two areas of kind of rainy conditions at the moment across the UK. One across the south, that is actually a developing area of low pressure that will move almost right through the channel, the Dover Straits, and make a beeline towards Denmark through the overnight tonight, and could bring some fairly unseasonable conditions to the near continent here. Windy conditions as well as wet. This is, of course, the leading edge of that system developing to the south at this moment in time, bringing some fairly heavy persistent rainfall anywhere from the southwest up into East Anglia, and that rain will spread its way eastwards, through the home counties into the southeast corner of the country during the rest of today. So temperatures continue to remain subdued for the time of the year. Temperatures, albeit I know it was over 2,000 feet above sea level, but it only reached 7 Celsius at the Bielik na Ba yesterday afternoon. We barely cracked 12 Celsius at Loch Scarnock. Aviemore was only 13 Celsius yesterday, well below average for the time of the year. And it looks as if temperatures have been between 11 and 12 Celsius this afternoon at Loch Scarnock. So a very notably chilly day across northern portions of the UK, and even across the south, where we're under that rain, of course. Now we've only got 12, 13 Celsius at very best. A little bit warmer across the southeast corner, as you can see here. Northern Ireland and the Republic, again, temperatures pretty subdued for the time of the year. We are going to see an uptick in temperature towards the second half of this work week. We'll look at that in just a second. And this is the meteogram for London. This is a look at the next 10 days, the 850 temperatures versus what the anomaly is. Now, I'm not going to hold the cursor over this chart, and the reason why is because it then covers what I'm trying to show you. So if you can kind of look at this at face value, you get the overall idea. The red line is the average, what you would expect. So this is for London, and you can see here that we're starting off below average at 850. Then we've got this strong surge of warming, of course, as that area of low pressure then congregates to the west southwest of the UK. We then start to draw warm, humid air up from the south. It remains to be seen how warm we get Friday, Saturday, and through the weekend overall. But notice here for London, and it will be the case for other areas I'll show you in a second, but it looks as if we've got these, quite the spread kind of lingering closer to the average red line. We've got some outliers indicating, 20 Celsius at 850. We've also got some models indicating, and probably the lion's share of the models actually averaged to slightly below average at 850, if you notice here, according to the spread of the GFS ensemble, I believe this is. But generally speaking, it could go either way beyond this, spike in temperature towards the end of this work week. Let's have a look at Inverness. So the opposite end, of course, the UK. We've got a slower rise in temperature, of course. Here we will have wind and rain across western and northern areas of the UK. And then we see this steady decline back towards the average. But like with London, you notice here that we've got some model members indicating that we have well above average. We've got probably the lion's share average to slightly below average. And towards the middle and second half of the month, some of these models are indicating temperatures below zero at 850, which is quite interesting. So, take your pick in terms of what you really want to see during the second half of the month. This is the visible satellite image as of recording at 25 past 5. You can see here this dip in the clouds here, representing that trough. Actually, this is a very nice representation of the trough that's in place just to the west of the UK. There's an area of low pressure just to the east of Iceland. There's that curl, there's that developing area of low pressure at the base of the trough. We've got another feature here between the Azores and the Canaries. Spain and Portugal underneath clear skies and hot sunshine, of course. And if we have a look at the temperatures according to medial seal for the current period. And this is how Europe is looking for another day up in the upper 30s. Nothing major to write home about for this region during the early and middle portion of July, of course. Cool across the UK and Ireland. Relatively warm across central areas, the warmest compared to average east and southeast of the continent here. So this is the CFSV2, by the way, for the upcoming 7-day period. And you can see here that the negative, the core of that is to the west of the UK and Ireland. As you can see here, the position of that allows that warm. We've got quite a strong area of high pressure just to the south of Corsica, while we've got that pretty deep negative here just to the west of Ireland. So therefore, you would expect to see some fairly significant southerly winds with this type of setup here. So this is, of course, the 7-day means. Precipitation-wise, upcoming 7 days, wettest to the west, so over Ireland, Northern Ireland, quite a wet spell overall across the northern half of the British Isles as well. Little to a lot less rainfall, actually, once this feature pushes through during the next 12 to 24 hours. There's little in the way of rainfall across the southeast of the UK. Temperature-wise, actually interesting. The CFSV2 has it firmly below average through to the 10th of July, which is quite interesting here, warmer than average further south. So let's have a look at what the individual model runs are indicating. So this is off the ECMWF. This is the off weathercharts.com. Of course, we've got an area of low pressure. So yeah, let's get back to the right chart. So we've got a northerly airflow at the moment, keeping things fairly subdued, but we've actually got a frontal system that is bringing the rain across central areas of Scotland. Then as we play through the next several hours, there's that feature developing here, and then moving through the channel. We've got some fairly heavy precip moving up through southern portions of England, as well as across northern France, where we could have some very lively thunderstorms during the overnight tonight. That feature then moves through the Dover Straits. We've got a legacy of rain and cloud still lingering into the early hours of the morning here. That system then develops quite deep, actually, so we could have some fairly strong winds even in southeastern England on the backside of this feature as it develops, and then it moves through Belgium, the Netherlands, and makes a beeline, like I said, towards Denmark. Quite a nice little compact and tight feature, which may mean we could see some very strong winds associated with this indeed. Then, of course, as we push towards the Thursday-Friday time frame, in comes the next area of low pressure, bringing wind and rain across Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland in particular. And of course, with southerly winds, we are seeing the temperatures rise quite dramatically across the southeast of the UK. So stuck in the teens today, possibly even tomorrow, and then we see the temperatures rise sharply. Notice here this area of low pressure quite far to the south, towards the Azores here, so we're going to be drawing that warm, humid air all the way from northwestern Africa, from the Canaries, right the way up into the southeastern half of the British Isles here, as we move particularly so into Friday. So once that initial rain band moves through the UK, we do see more in the way of just southerly winds and dry conditions, warmer temperatures for everybody, but especially across England and Wales here. Then as we push through into the weekend, we've got more energy riding that warm southerly airflow. Means we could see more lively showers and thunderstorms in this unstable atmosphere. And generally speaking, we do have a fairly mobile pattern. Yes, we're drawing up a warm, humid source of air, so we definitely will see an uptick in temperature, but also with low pressure fairly close by, it always raises the possibility of showers and thunderstorms never far away. Look at this here by Monday of next week. A long way out, I know that, but we've got an area of low pressure at 1,003 millibars just to the west of the UK and Ireland here. And with warm, humid, unstable air, we could see some very lively downpours indeed with this type of setup overall. So yeah, unstable but increasingly warm and humid is the theme as we go towards the end of the week and into the weekend here. Looking at the temperatures for the UK Met Office model, this is off the Weather Online, I think, or the Weather Outlook, sorry. You can see here the temperatures, nothing to write home about across the northern half of the UK during the course of tomorrow. So this is, of course, 20Z Tuesday. And then as we play, sorry, this is actually today. I'm getting my days mixed up. Then we see a freshening of the air mass overall across much of the UK during the course of tomorrow afternoon. Then the warmest area, once again, Humber Estuary, parts of South Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, into East Anglia during the course of tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 20s, of course. Then it's as we push towards the second half of this week, that's when the temperatures really start to rise here. This is the temperatures during the course of Thursday afternoon, and you can see here they're rising into the low to mid 20s. As you can see, let's have a slightly better look at this chart here, because it's not very easy to see. And you can see here we are warming up, much increasing humidity levels as well. This is during the course of Friday, and you notice here that we have got temperatures knocking the door of 30 Celsius on Friday afternoon, anywhere from the South Midlands all the way to the Greater London area. What's Saturday looking like off the chart here? We can see what it's showing here. Yeah, it's showing a 30 here, and then even during the course of Sunday, I'm not entirely sure, but we may approach 30 as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if we'll see a 30 at least Friday and Saturday. I'm not so sure about about Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on that anyway. But certainly there's a lot of things going on at the moment. I do encourage you to keep it right here on my YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, of course. And I will endeavour to be back again tomorrow with more information. Enjoy the rest of your day, and stay dry if you're in the southern half of the UK this evening. Bye for now.